So, Dragon Ball Daima episode 18. So, in this episode, not only was this episode hype, but it got the whole fandom talking. And I'm pretty sure you guys know why. And I'm pretty sure you guys can also see it on the screen in front of you. But I'll get to all that later in my review. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. So, in this episode, we pick up where we left off, where Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan 3. Now, with his Super Saiyan 3 powers, when he charged Goma, he basically, he started to damage him. So as he's fighting, he's starting to do damage. However, at Super Saiyan 3, he still was not enough for Goma. He still wasn't enough. And then Majin Du actually jumped in and tried to help him. And what was funny about that is that he was watching Goku, when he was powering up, like when he's powering up his Super Saiyan 3, he kind of tries to copy him. So he powers up and he kind of makes fake, I could say, hair in a sense, like going back like Super Saiyan 3, which is kind of wacky. But yeah, so so he jumped in, but it was no match for Goma. Like he was beaten easily. Actually, no, he wore himself out because he tried to power up all the time, but he wore himself out and he was beaten. When it comes to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, is that it was doing well for a while, like at the beginning, but then he started to struggle, and then he started to get beaten back. Goku actually got knocked out. So now that Goku got knocked down, it looks like no one can defeat Goma because Goma is that powerful. But what happened is that when Neva was watching the fight, he notices that where Goku transforms, he started noticing of how it happens. He was taking an interest in it. Right, but when Goku got knocked down, Neva actually walks up to him, and Neva uses his energy, and he activates Goku's say DNA. I would say, but it doesn't look like DNA, but I'm just gonna call it DNA because it looks like his body parts, like the DNA stuff, right? So what happens is he activates the DNA to Goku's DNA to achieve a higher transformation, higher than Super Saiyan 3, right? So that's exactly what happens. So his DNA starts like powering up, and Goku starts kind of like slowly transforming to something else. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, Super Saiyan 4 is canon in the main line of Dragon Ball, which is obviously this is going to all lead into Dragon Ball Super eventually. So Super Saiyan 4 is now quote unquote canon. And guys, to be honest with you, this took me by complete surprise. It took me out because here's the thing, right? Because Goku's got Ultra Instinct and all that, he doesn't really need to achieve Super Saiyan 4 anymore. Because Super Saiyan 4 is a real transformation that the Saiyans can achieve. But because of Ultra Instinct, he doesn't really need that anymore. But I remember actually before Dragon Ball Daima, before the first episode aired, I remember that some fans theorized that because Daima is happening before Dragon Ball Super, maybe we're gonna see Super Saiyan 4. Now I'm thinking when I was listening to all these theories, I was thinking, but if that's the case, then how is that gonna fit after that with Dragon Ball Super? Like, how come we didn't see it during the Beerus fight or anything like that? Right? Actually, I do have a theory on about all that, but I'll get to that a bit later. But yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is now canon, and yeah, a lot of people are excited about this now. The design is a little bit different, right? Now, unlike the original transformation of Super Saiyan 4, because what would happen is when Kid Goku would transform into Super Saiyan 4, it will make him an adult, and obviously his like the fur is red, he's got black hair, and his eyes are like goldish color and with the red around it, right? But this time what they decided to do with the transformation is that he's still just a kid. He doesn't go into an adult form, he's still the kid. But what I noticed, what you could see on the thing, and obviously you guys know as well, is that his hair is red, and his eyes are red as well, and the thing around his eye, right, the eye that's supposed to be red, it seems a little much darker red, right? And the other thing I noticed now, this is the part I kind of don't like about the transformation, is that I've noticed that his forearms and his hands they're a bit bigger, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but yeah, they're a bit bigger. So I want to say, I think they're trying to go with like a monkey style, but I don't think even monkeys have arms like that. But yeah, his forearms are a bit bigger. Now, I do have a theory on that, is that maybe the reason why Goku looks like this is that maybe it's not not a complete Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Now, I could be wrong about that, but why I'm thinking is that because he was forced, like his DNA was forced when he transformed, is he didn't complete the transformation 100%. Right? He achieved the transformation, but not 100% where he's going to grow into an adult, he's going to have the black hair. Now, like I said, I could be wrong about that. We'll have to wait and see, but that's just my theory. So it is a little bit of an unstable Super Saiyan 4, but we'll see what happens. So when Goku goes Super Saiyan 4, he's I want to say he's completely demolishing him, but he's beating Goma, like he's beating all his beams back. He's like pounding him and everything. And it looks like he can actually beat Goma at Super Saiyan 4 for a while, right? But what happens is that there is a point where other fighters jump in as well to help him, right? But they all got beaten back easily. And there is a point where Goku was about to charge the Kamehameha, was about to fire it, and he gets punched by Goma like really hard. It looks like he almost almost killed him, right? At least that's what it looks like, right? But as Goku's falling back, right, he continues to charge Kame, he keeps charging, and this took Goma by complete surprise, right? So he fired his like full power Kamehameha, which, by the way, if you look at the animation carefully, I think that is early stages of the 10 times Kamehameha. Because if you guys remember when Goku fought against Baby in Dragon Ball GT, when he first did the 10 times Kamehameha, you know how it was kind of like blue, and it's kind of like, it kind of went out, would like spread out, kind of like the base of the Kamehameha, like the part that's in his hands, kind of spreads out, if you guys know what I mean. But it kind of looked like that a little bit, or not as bad, but the color scheme was very, very close to it, right? So so I do believe that is early stages of the 10 times Kamehameha. And it looks like he actually did defeat Goma with that Kamehameha. But what happens is that Goma transforms. Well, he doesn't transform, but he becomes much, much, much bigger, right? And what happens is that Goma, he actually uses his power, and he actually reverses the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. So Goku falls back to Super Saiyan 3, then Super Saiyan, then I think back to normal, right? And after that happens is that Irene, she contacts not Granola, what's his name? Glorio, to come give me the Dragon Ball because I want to make my wish now, because obviously everyone's dying here, so I want to make myself the queen, and I'm gonna rule everything, right? So Gloria, he takes the Dragon Ball to her, and they summon the dragon. Now, to speak to the dragon, you have to be able to speak Namekian, and Gloria can, right? So he makes a wish, right? But we don't exactly know like what wish he made, because it's a bit suspicious. Like everybody's going, "Oh, you traitor! You betrayed us. You're giving everything to her." But I think that Glorio is actually betrayed Irene. And now I actually think, this is just my theory, is that I actually think that what he wished for was either to make them adults again, right? Like Goku and Vegeta, to make them adults again like everybody. Or he might have actually wished for the Z fighters, because when they turn kids, to make them like the way they were after they defeated Majin Buu, right? Because if that's the wish like that, if he phrases the wish like that, then maybe this is why we didn't see Super Saiyan 4 in Battle of Gods, because this is probably the way to retcon it out a little bit, which it might be a bit disappointing for fans if it is the case, because that will mean that he lost the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, if that is the wish, if you guys know what I mean. Because the thing is, if he phrases it like that, he's pretty much kind of reversing their time, in the sense to where the time where they defeated Majin Buu. So he's reversing the time to that point. So they're going to lose everything before that time. I'm just, like I said, I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm just theorizing as to why we didn't see Super Saiyan 4 in Battle of Gods. Now, obviously, they made this series after they made all those, but I'm just trying to make it fit, if you guys know what I mean. But it's just a theory. Now, the next episode could come in and I could be, I could look like an idiot, and my theory is completely wrong. But that's what I think as of right now. Maybe that's the case, right? But we have to wait and see what's going to happen. Now, I do want to say something else about Super Saiyan 4. The thing is that when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, the way they're going now is that you can't really predict anything, because if you guys, here's the thing, right? If you guys go back when Dragon Ball Super first aired, we were saying we're never gonna see Future Trunks, we're never gonna see Broly again, And guess what? We got all those things, right? We got Future Trunks back, and we got a basically rebooted Broly and his transformation, the way his transformation worked, and his transformation is much more powerful the way it used to be, right? And I'm pretty sure that's the case with Super Saiyan 4. They could give it a huge power boost as well. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to this type of things and you think you're not going to get something, you get it. Which is also makes me think of another thing. Are we actually going to get sometime, probably not in Daima, but maybe in Dragon Ball Super, maybe we are going to get Goku using or learning the Super Dragon Fist. Maybe we're going to get that, But we have to wait and see. I hope he does, because I do like that move, but I hope he does. I hope it. Maybe you never know. He might actually defeat Goma with that move. Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. Like, I can sit here theorizing everything because, yeah, like I said, I'm trying not to fanboy over this, but yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, that's enough from me. It was a very good, well-made episode, very well animated. Like, all the animation in this episode was beautiful. We finally got Super Saiyan 4 back, which I know fans, and including myself, are very hyped that we got Super Saiyan 4 back. Also, the thing is that, like, even with the theories I was saying before, is that we know that Super Saiyan 4 can't coexist the way it did in GT, because the way they're telling the stories now is they're gonna not only give it a power boost, but they're gonna have to change like the way it works in a sense. Well, we definitely know that it's gonna got to do with maybe some primal form, which is probably why they had to, with the DNA stuff. Maybe he had, maybe to achieve this form, you have to go into your primal instincts or something like that to bring this transformation out. But we have to wait and see. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they're gonna justify all this and what the differences are gonna be from GT. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough from me. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I really cannot wait to see the next episode of Dragon Ball Daima.